Right now, as you watch this, termites are eating your house. Not next month, not next year, right now. They move through the wood in your walls without making a single sound. By the time you see even one of them, they have already been there for 3 to 5 years, and April is the one month they finally reveal themselves. Every spring, after the first warm rain soaks through the soil, they swarm. Thousands of winged insects flying toward your windows, your lights, your front door. Most people see them and think flying ants. They vacuum them up, they close the window, they go to bed, and the colony keeps eating. There is a $1 solution to all of this, and the pest control industry has known about it for decades. Welcome to Dr. Phillip's Forbidden Files. If this kind of knowledge matters to you, hit subscribe and the bell. This is where we dig up what the industry buried. Let me show you exactly what is happening inside your walls this April. Subterranean termites are the most destructive pest in the United States. Not rats, not roaches. Termites. They live in underground colonies containing anywhere from 60,000 to 2 million individual insects. For most of the year, they are completely invisible to you. They travel through mud tubes built inside your walls, beneath your floors, along the outside of your foundation. These tubes are pencil thin and maintain the precise humidity the colony needs to survive. You can live in a house for 5 years and never see a single termite. Then April comes. After the first significant spring rainfall, when the soil temperature crosses a certain threshold, the colony releases its swarmers. Winged reproductives whose only purpose is to find new territory and start new colonies. Before I show you the $1 fix, I need you to see something. I put together a complete termite protection guide based on everything in this video and more. It is called the Dr. Phillip's Forbidden Files Complete Vault. Inside you will find the exact boric acid formula with precise measurements, not just the concept. A room-by-room inspection checklist you can complete in under 20 minutes. A diagram of the 37 entry points subterranean termites most commonly use in a typical American home. How to identify a termite swarmer versus a flying ant using 3 physical markers in under 3 seconds. What to do if you find active structural damage and when DIY is no longer enough. Over 10 detailed guides in one place, no filler, straight to the point. The link is in the description. But stay here. The most important part is coming next. In 1926, a structural engineer named Charles Zimmerman was hired to inspect a colonial-era home in coastal South Carolina. Beautiful house. White painted siding, wide front porch. The homeowner called because a door was sticking, that was all. Zimmerman pushed a steel probe into the main floor support beam. His hand went through it, not through rot, not through moisture damage, through a hollow beam that termites had eaten from the inside out over 7 years. The outer wood remained intact, just thin enough to look solid, intact enough to paint, hollow enough to push a fist through. The homeowner had no idea. The repair cost more than the original purchase price of the property. That story sounds extreme. If you are still watching, you already know more about this threat than 99% of American homeowners. Subscribe and share this with someone who owns a home. Every share preserves what they tried to bury. The complete guide is in the description. Now, stay with me. This is the part they really do not want you to see. The truth is, Zimmerman's story is not extreme at all. Structural engineers and licensed pest control professionals report similar discoveries every single week in every state east of the Rockies. Termites are not aggressive. They are simply consistent. The eastern subterranean termite, Reticulotermes flavipes, is present in every American state except Alaska. A single colony can contain up to 2 million workers. Those workers never enter a resting state. 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, without stopping. At that pace, a mature colony can consume 1 pound of structural wood every single day. Multiply that by 1,000 days of undetected feeding before you ever see a swarmer. 1,000 pounds of wood consumed in silence before any visible warning. The University of Florida Institute of Food and Agricultural Sciences published data showing that by the time a subterranean termite colony is large enough to produce a reproductive swarm, it has been actively feeding for an average of 3 to 5 years. 3 to 5 years of your home being eaten while you paid the mortgage and had no idea. Now let me show you the numbers the pest control industry would prefer you never look at. The National Pest Management Association confirmed in March of 2026 that termites cause an estimated $6.8 billion in property damage to American homes every single year. More structural damage than tornadoes, fires, and earthquakes combined in most calendar years. Hurricane victims can apply for FEMA disaster relief. Termite victims get a bill. Your homeowner's insurance almost certainly does not cover it. The standard exclusion language classifies termite damage as an ongoing maintenance issue, not a disaster, a maintenance issue. A Harris poll conducted on behalf of the NPMA in early 2026 found that only 58% of American homeowners are even aware of the damage termites can cause to their property. Fewer than half of those homeowners believe prevention is more cost-effective than repair. They are wrong. Average repair costs after a discovered infestation run into the thousands of dollars. Structural beam replacement alone costs between $2,000 and $10,000 per beam. None of it covered by standard homeowners insurance. And here is the science they cannot argue with. In 1991, a study published in the Journal of Economic Entomology by researcher Kenneth Grace tested boric acid directly on colonies of Reticulitromus, Flebipes, and Cooperative formosanus. The result: 100% mortality within 15 days of direct boric acid treatment. And critically, the study found that when only 10 to 20% of a termite colony is exposed to boric acid, the compound spreads to the entire group through grooming and a behavior called trophallaxis. You do not need to reach every termite. The colony delivers the compound to itself. Then, in December of 2024, a peer-reviewed study in the Journal of Economic Entomology confirmed the exact mechanism. Boric acid causes lethal disruption of the termite's gut microbiome, permanently blocking its ability to extract nutrients from cellulose. Mortality increases in a dose-dependent manner, and after more than 100 years of documented use as an insecticide, there is still not a single confirmed case of termite resistance to boric acid, not one. The pest control industry charges $900 for treatments based on compounds that termites can and do eventually adapt to. Boric acid has outlasted all of them. So why does none of this appear in any pest control company's brochure? The pest control industry in the United States generates over $30 billion in annual revenue. Termites and wood-destroying organisms account for billions of that. Here is exactly how the business model works. A licensed technician visits your home. They inspect, they treat, they recommend. Then they offer the contract. Annual monitoring, annual renewal, annual payment. Some companies structure 5-year protection guarantees that require annual renewal, or the entire warranty becomes void. The industry calls this a protection plan. The financial architecture of that plan depends entirely on you never solving the problem independently. Now, here is what the industry cannot work around. You cannot patent boric acid. It has been in the public domain as a compound for over 200 years. It has been used as an insecticide since the early 1900s. You cannot manufacture a proprietary version that requires the customer to return next year. You cannot build a subscription renewal model around a compound that costs under $10 per pound and lasts indefinitely on a shelf. The entire recurring revenue structure of professional pest control depends on you not knowing this solution exists. J&J Exterminating, one of the largest pest control companies in the southeastern United States, issued a public consumer alert on the 31st of March, 2026. They warned homeowners that native subterranean termites were already swarming, and Termites swarms were not far behind. They advised all homeowners to contact licensed professionals immediately upon seeing any swarm activity. They described exactly what swarmers look like and why spring is the critical season. At no point in that press release did they mention boric acid. At no point did they mention DIY bait stations. At no point did they disclose that the same boron compound used in professional termiticide formulations is available at every pharmacy and hardware store in America for under $10 a pound. They did not forget. They made a decision. Because a homeowner who solves a termite problem for $1 is not a customer. And if enough homeowners know how to do this, the $30 billion annual machine runs into a serious problem. Every source cited in this video is linked in the description. The press release, the university studies, the journal research. Read them yourself. This is not a theory. This is documented. This is a choice the industry makes every single swarm season. Here is exactly what to do today. Not after you get a quote. Not next weekend. Today. The method is called a boric acid bait station. It operates on the same core principle as professional termite monitoring systems that pest control companies charge $50 to $80 per unit to install. This version costs under $1. Here is what you need. Boric acid powder available at CVS, Walgreens, Ace Hardware, or Amazon, roughly $8 to $12 per pound, and 1 pound will supply most homeowners for years. Corrugated cardboard, the kind from any shipping or grocery delivery box, free. Water from your tap, free. That is the complete materials list. Here is the process. Cut a piece of corrugated cardboard to approximately 6 inches by 6 inches. Wet it with water until it is damp all the way through the corrugation channels. The corrugation channels are essential. That is the pathway termite workers travel through the bait station. Sprinkle a thin, even layer of boric acid powder across one surface of the damp cardboard. Press a second piece of damp cardboard against it, with the powder side facing inward, sandwiching the compound between the two pieces. That is your bait station. Now, here's where most people make a critical mistake. They place the station near where they saw the swarmers. That is the wrong location. Swarmers chase light. They emerge near windows and fixtures, not where the colony is feeding. You need to place bait stations along the moisture and cellulose pathways that worker termites actually travel. Place one station flat against each exterior wall corner at ground level inside your home. Place one station directly against any visible mud tube on your foundation wall. Place one station in every crawlspace access point, flat against the soil. Place one station against any wood structural member that contacts concrete or bare soil directly. Subterranean termites travel upward from the soil along moisture gradients. Your bait stations are intercepting the worker cast before they ever reach the structural framing. Check every station every 7 to 10 days. Active infestation evidence looks like this. The cardboard is being consumed and you find frass near the station. Frass appears as tiny brown or cream-colored pellets, roughly the size of a grain of sand or coarse pepper. If you find those signs, do not move the station. Replace it with a fresh one in the exact same location. The boric acid disrupts the termite's gut microbiome and blocks its ability to extract nutrients from cellulose. Workers who feed on the bait carry the compound back on their body surfaces. Through trophallaxis, where termites share food and groom each other, the compound spreads through the entire colony. This mechanism was documented in the 1991 GRACE study and confirmed by the December 2024 research in the Journal of Economic Entomology. Surface sprays kill individual swarmers you can see. Boric acid kills the colony you cannot see. Now, 3 markers to tell a termite swarmer from a flying ant in under 3 seconds. Marker 1. Wings. Termite swarmers have 4 wings of equal length. Flying ants have front wings that are noticeably longer than their rear wings. Marker 2, waist. Termites have a thick, straight body with no constriction between segments. Ants have a clearly pinched waist between the thorax and abdomen. Marker 3, antennae. Termite antennae are straight and slightly beaded. Ant antennae are sharply bent at an elbow angle. If you find uniform piles of shed wings near windows, door frames, or baseboards after a swarm event, all the same small size, that is termite evidence, not ant evidence. Termite swarmers shed their wings immediately after landing. Flying ants do not. If you find those wing piles anywhere in your home this April, start your bait stations today. One honest note: if you probe any structural wood with a screwdriver and it pushes through without resistance, or if wood sounds hollow when you tap it firmly, the damage may already be extensive. In those situations, boric acid prevention alone cannot undo existing structural compromise. Get a professional structural assessment before attempting any repairs. Get multiple quotes from separate companies and require a written scope of work before any money changes hands. Boric acid is dramatically more effective as a prevention tool than as a response after serious damage has already occurred. The lesson is this: start today, not after you find the hollow beam. Termites have been consuming wood since before dinosaurs walked this planet. They are patient, they are consistent, they are extraordinarily good at what they do. But you are better. You have something the colony does not have: knowledge. This information was not buried because it failed. It was buried because it worked too well. Because a $1 solution that any homeowner can deploy in an afternoon cannot be owned, cannot be patented, and cannot generate $30 billion in annual recurring revenue. If this video made a difference to you, subscribe and share it. Every share is one more American homeowner who does not lose their savings to a colony they never saw. Every share preserves what they decided you were not supposed to know. The next vault opens soon, and what is inside is even heavier.